The next 10 years will feel like science fiction. A lot of the time that I spend thinking about the future, I think about things in the distant future. I think about the monumental change to humanity that results in a new rung on the ladder that is the Kardashev scale. These are things like Dyson spheres and colonizing galaxies and warp drives. But the crazy thing is that there's so much technology that we are simply not ready for that will come in the next 10 years, making the years succeeding those feel like we're living in the future. One thing that easily comes to mind is the idea of humanoid robots. 10 years ago, these were kind of a laughing stock. There were frequently videos of people kicking the Boston Dynamics robot dogs and watching them fall over or stumble, and they seemed very robotic in the way that they moved. But in the past few years, humanoid robotics have seemingly taken an astronomical leap in their capabilities. For one example, Tesla's Optimus is one of the craziest technological feats that we've been able to overcome, and it moves with human like motion and is able to draw on a huge training database which is continually being updated by Tesla employees. And while Optimus is not currently able to move and operate on its own, it will soon be able to. And even without that autonomy capability, Optimus provides a vessel that humans can remote into from across the globe, meaning remote work could very soon have a whole new meaning where perhaps you don't even need to be in a harsh or potentially unsafe environment like construction sites or even factories, and you could work from home. Then again, autonomy will give humans that work in these environments already their own armies of workers that can understand basic tasks and repeat them, freeing up even more time for humans to do what they do best and think of creative solutions to more complex problems. I think one thing that people miss when it comes to autonomy in robotics is that they think robotics are coming to steal their careers and jobs. But the reality is that robotics and automation are coming to remove the part of the job that is boring, repetitive, and monotonous in the first place. I don't know about you, but I don't know a lot of people that go to work wanting to do those things. Robots aren't the only thing that will benefit from autonomy. Using Tesla as an example again, it is very clear to see that autonomous driving vehicles are soon to be on the streets in full force. One of the best parts about Tesla's approach to self driving vehicles is that it uses camera vision, which receives data the same way a human would and continuously adds to a database which has surmounted to over 3 million cumulative miles driven of training data. That data set is greater than the average human will ever drive. And the crazy thing is that this data set will only grow with time. Right now, there are only about 1 million Teslas using full self driving on a daily basis. And the crazy thing is that this is only 12% of available Tesla vehicles. If you follow Elon's companies closely, you'll see that he has no sign of slowing down and is ramping up production to its extreme. So, as these cars continue to come online and customers continue to use the software, the dataset will grow exponentially. This leaves Tesla to be one of the fastest growing and soon to be the biggest American car manufacturer in the world. Another example of self driving capabilities is the company Waymo. In my opinion, they're not going to beat out Tesla's full self driving capability, but they are a critical stepping stone in the direction of self driving cars because they provide the same service at the moment, with the only difference being that they use a combination of cameras and sensors that use a different predictive model than Tesla's network AI approach. Another monumental technology that will take the world by storm in the next 10 years is going to be the brain computer interfaces. Once again, one of the easiest examples of this is Elon's company Neuralink. Neuralink is the most well known company working on this problem as we speak. At the moment, there are 21 people with these Neuralink chips implanted in their brains. This technology, although it may seem dystopian or even flashy at first, serves a very real purpose, and that's to take the complex nature of our brains, particularly in patients that suffer from nervous system related illnesses, and allow them to use their bodies as they would if they had an otherwise healthy nervous system. Some examples of situations where Neuralink serves an amazing purpose is allowing patients to use cursors, play video games, and type on screens just by imagining movements. People with impairments such as ALS often are otherwise not able to use their fine motor skills in the same way as people without these illnesses, and providing this technology levels the playing field for them. The beauty, too, is that having this technological integration with the brain already allows very unique applications for things such as prosthetics and robotics. We previously talked about how robotics have gotten so advanced that they have fluid, human like motions. Who's to say that our prosthetics in the next 10 years won't be able to mimic these very same motions when combined with the Neuralink computer chips? My thought is that we're going to see way more people adopt this technology, significantly improving their lives and restoring the abilities that they either lost or never had but impact their lives on a daily basis. One last thing that I want to bring up in this video is the idea of AI and its integration into our work lives. I'm not a strong believer that we will see the end of work as of itself due to AI, because I think humans provide a unique, fully encompassing perspective that simply cannot be obtained through repetitive executions. I do, however, believe that AI is going to become an extremely powerful tool similar to Google, but better, in that you can find the exact information you need as long as you are specific and know how to create a productive prompt. And you can do this all with one sentence. If I go into Google right now and I ask it how to build an RC plane, I will be met with millions of different articles explaining how each individual went about building their RC plane. Some people may have used kits, some people may have made them from scratch, and the materials that they used may not have been widely available, or maybe the kits are not particularly worth the money. I myself have asked the same question to Google before and gotten these results. But when I put the same question into ChatGPT, I was met with an intuitive line of reasoning that prompted me with questions such as what size do I want? How much am I willing to spend? And what materials do I want it to be made out of? Google is simply not that smart. It doesn't predict what other key information is important, and it certainly doesn't provide a clear, concise answer. I know this video probably doesn't seem too crazy considering what a lot of people are talking about right now, especially with AI, but I don't think people fully grasp how groundbreaking these technologies are going to be. I think we're going to see humanoid robots become as frequent as household pets. They will be working in labor intensive environments as they don't get tired and can work 24 hours a day performing the same physical output consistently. You will probably see a lot of applications for construction, like I said before, or even factories. You may even see applications in agriculture, and you may even see applications in high risk environments like nuclear reactors and even firefighting. I picture roads to be filled with self driving cars, likely not just Teslas, but certainly they will be the most common variety. And I think a lot of people really do want these autonomous vehicles as an option. There certainly are some people that are big into cars, but I know a lot of people that don't particularly care to own one. When you get to the core of it, what people actually like about owning a car is that they like the fact that you can get up and go anytime you want. They like the fact that you can live far away from whatever it is you want to do. And they like the fact that you can do that any time of the day. Right now, we have services that kind of fill this niche without demanding that the individual owns their own car. Think Uber or Lyft. And while these services can certainly help in a pinch, they aren't perfect and the drivers are still subject to the same human demands as you are. Additionally, they are still subject to human error while driving, and I can't think of anything worse than getting into an accident because you were in an Uber or a Lyft with an unsafe driver. Full autonomy will mean that these cars are leagues above the standards of human drivers. Not only will they be safer, but they will be more reliable and perhaps even more affordable because owning a car outright is expensive and costs an estimated $10,000 a year. I can certainly see patients of neuromuscular diseases leading normal lives, perhaps where they have full range of motion and movement patterns that mimic expected healthy humans, and perhaps even surpass them in some capabilities, but also allow seamless integration with technology that we use daily, like phones, laptops, and entertainment. And finally, while it sounds cliche, I do think that AI is going to fundamentally change the way that we see work. Not in the way that it will fully replace us or replace any need for human workers, but in the way that it will change what we do when we're at work. In other words, we will get paid to do the fun parts of the job, only leaving the boring, monotonous, repetitive tasks to the AI, which does it faster, better, and more reliably. If you guys are just as excited as I am to live in this new and innovative world, please let me know in the comments. This is the type of stuff that I think about almost daily, and I just find it so fascinating. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did. Have a good one. Bye.